All right, let's do this. Yay. All right, so I promised myself I'd be on at 9:30 and I had to run to the bathroom. I'm on for 90 minutes. I'm like, I gotta pee. All right, welcome to my live. Let's do this. I'm really excited for today. All right, guys, so as normal, I'm going live Monday through Friday. Oh, one sec. 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Fixing my little stand, and I want to stand up today. All right, yes, I want to stand today. So let me do this. Let me get my little microphone. I totally forgot to plug it in, which would have been helpful. Wouldn't that be wonderful if I plug my mics in? All right, welcome. So give me 2 seconds. Should be connecting. All right, hopefully this is working just fine. So welcome to the live today. All right, we're gonna be on for 90 minutes. As normal, I'm doing a, let me see if I can turn towards the sun. Ooh, much better lighting, isn't it? All right, we're gonna be on for 90 minutes today. So whatever you guys need help with, let me know. This is a Q&A life coach call. So let me know if something's not going right in your life. We're gonna talk about it. If everything's going right, awesome. But yeah, let's do this. So I've been coaching for about 3 years, and I'm trying to get back into regular lives. So I want people to build a community. I just released my online community today. It's called Life Coach Andrew, and it's gonna be amazing. And there's literally so much awesome value in there. So if you are like considering life coaching, you want to learn more about it, this is the place to be. Let me get my water really fast. I left it over there, and then ask questions. I'm gonna be here for 90 minutes. So whatever you guys need, let me know. I'll be right back with my water. And again, I've been life coaching for 3 years, so this is not new for me. I've been trying to find a way to bring life coaching and make it more accessible, because I think that right now life coaching is very expensive and it shouldn't be, because the tools that I have learned in coaching have completely changed my life. All right, what's up, Jonathan? How do I figure out what I'm gonna do in high school? I have no clue. After high school, okay, really good question. One of the biggest things you can do for yourself when you're making a decision is be really careful with the way that you're thinking about it, okay? Thanks for the likes, by the way, Lacey. And if anybody wants to join my community, I just opened it today, and you're gonna learn this foundational tool I'm about to talk about, okay? So if you are having trouble making a decision, don't let yourself believe that you have no idea, because it's never true, right? It's a thought that feels really scary, but it's not actually true. Like, is it really true you have no idea? It's like, of course you do. Like, you'd rather make $1 million a year or rather work at McDonald's making $15 an hour? Well, $1 million. Would I rather like do a job I cared about or one I didn't care about? Would I rather sit in front of a desk every single day for 40 hours, right, a week? Or would I rather like go and work in nature? Like you have a lot more information than you're letting yourself believe. So don't let yourself believe a story. I have no idea what I want. Not gonna serve you. It's gonna keep you stuck. It's gonna keep you confused. And when you're believing that, it's like, oh my God, like life feels horrible. I'm saying this from coaching, from being a coach and doing this and applying this, and also from personal experience of telling myself I didn't know what to do for 10 years when I did know what I wanted. All right, and also if anybody wants to join my community, I just released it today. The link is in my bio. It's a free community, and I'm going to teach you tools that most life coaches will teach you that will cost thousands of dollars, all for free. So consider joining. I'd love to have you. I'm trying to get to 100 members, and we're gonna do workshops every week. I have foundational trainings in there completely for free, and I want you to have access to the tools I'm teaching because they're fucking good, all right? So anyways, let's do this. Thanks for the comments, by the way. Chloe, how do I really start loving myself and have unshakable confidence? Get in my community. This is what we're gonna do, and I'll do a workshop on this, by the way. Like, this is, I wanna let you know, loving yourself, like if you want the basic skill set, okay, the very basic logical skill set, how do you love yourself? You start believing nicer thoughts about yourself. Well, like, how do you do that, right? Life coaching, right? So much of the thoughts and the beliefs we have about ourselves that are nasty, that make us just not even wanna be around ourselves, they're not true. And if we can start to learn how to look at those with compassion instead of judgment, that's the skill set I teach, we can work our way around them. But at the end of the day, it's just a skill set we practice. Just like you go to the gym to work out, right? We go to the mental gym to have nicer thoughts about ourselves and start believing them. It's really that simple. It's just not easy. Again, if anyone wants to join my community, I just released it. Go check it out in my bio. I would love to have you. I'm teaching you the foundational tools. I'm teaching all my clients completely for free. And then we're gonna do workshops, and I'm gonna have community, and we're gonna be in there. And I'm really excited. I'm starting a whole movement. Like, I want life coaching to be accessible, all right? Because I understand in this economy that it's not accessible for everyone to get life coaching, and that's bullshit, because these tools should be accessible for everyone, right? Ernest, you need to make $1,000 a week, $100,000 a week in this economy. Yeah, it's all right. What's up, Allie? How do I know if my boyfriend's cheating on me again? Ask him. And then also, like, I mean, the best thing you can do is ask him, right? That's my, hey, 111, that's my lucky number. God's here. The best thing you can do is ask him, but also I want to give you this. If you have a gut intuition, trust yourself. I'm not saying that you should make a decision and believe it factually, but if you have a gut instinct, you should tell him, in so much honesty. You know, if more people were just completely vulnerable about what they were thinking and feeling, then relationships would stop being such an issue. Like, hey, I have this gut feeling that you're cheating on me. Here's all the reasons why. I want to talk to you, not to blame you, to tell you about this gut feeling so we can talk about it together, right? Because I don't want to have this feeling, and I also don't want to have this feeling and not talk about it, right? So don't blame him, don't assume, don't accuse. Just let him know exactly what's true for you and why it's true for you without making him responsible for any of that, right? And then the reason you do that is because that's going to allow vulnerability to form so that you can actually have an intimate conversation about what's actually going on. But if you blame or shame or hide, you're never going to know, right? All right. How to become a life coach? Leanne, what's up? I would say the best thing to do right now, the best answer I have for you legitimately is join my community. Start getting coaching. Start learning the tools. Start applying it. See if you even want to become a life coach. You know, that's the best way to do it. It's like, find out if you even want to. Go, like I would say, if somebody wants to be a therapist, go to therapy. If somebody wants to be like a fireman, go and take a day with them and see what they actually do, right? So get into my course, or my community is completely for free. I just released it today. I'd love to have you. And if anybody has questions about that before they join, if they're like kind of weirded out, there's a video that explains everything. You can always just DM me and I'm cool. All right. So I'm going to get everyone's comments today. I'll get faster if I miss some stuff. How do I quit vaping? Go to my community. Go to my community because the free course I have in there, right when you join for free, it's going to teach you the basics. And then I also have a discounted offer on my quit vaping course once you learn the basics. But the basics might be enough to help you quit. I'm very good at what I do with vaping. It's my main niche for 3 years and I'm good. So go check out my community, join, and it's a really good place to start learning and embodying and having a community to start talking about these things, right? All right. How do I find motivation? Yes, motivation isn't something you find, you create it. Okay, every emotion that you're ever going to experience in your life, every emotion, doesn't matter what it is. Happiness, sadness, motivated is actually an emotion you feel in your body. It comes from your thoughts. So we don't find motivation, we create it on purpose, right? So if I want to be motivated for something, right, let's say go to school, I have to actually believe that what I'm doing is worthwhile and understand why that's worthwhile to me. Now, a lot of people, they don't have motivation issues, right? We have, I'm doing things I don't want to do issues, and instead of trying to figure out why I think I need to do things I don't want to do, I'm trying to force myself to be motivated. Motivation really is it's the natural organic emotion that comes with actually caring about and being excited about what you're doing. It really is. It doesn't have to be more complicated than that, okay? So whenever we have a motivation problem, we actually have a bigger issue behind the scenes of like, what is it you want to be motivated to do and why? What are your current thoughts about that? Because that's the problem, okay? Also, join my community. You joined, yes, incognito. I was going to DM you today, so awesome. Sweet. I'm going to DM everyone anyways, just in case I miss somebody, because I don't know your emails from your username. All right, but welcome. All right, somebody asked about weight loss. I don't want to miss that. Cheetah wants people. Okay, one sec. Shah, how can I commit to thinking positively about myself? I'm able to do it for a week at a time, but I really believe this. I'm not just bullshitting you because I'm a coach. I really believe that coaching is the best place to do that. If you actually want help with that, jump in the community. I'll teach you a mindset tool that will help you understand how to manage your thoughts, and then we'll just practice it every day in the community. That's what the whole point is, right? It's just like, it really is. Like, if you want to create a better relationship with yourself, which is important because the relationship you have with yourself is the life you create externally, you have to just do it regularly. It's like, just like you wouldn't go to the gym one time and be like, oh, my ass is fat as fuck, right? You go every single day and be like, yeah, I've earned this ass. Like, I've done this. I know the work. I know why it looks the way it does, right? It's consistent practice. And don't feel bad for the place you're starting at. Everybody starts somewhere. And some days I wake up and I need to practice more. I'm like, my mindset's not good today, you know? It's just normal. Makes sense? Join my community. It's free. And you'll get so much stuff out of it for free. All right. The second I'm putting my vape, no big deal. No judgment with any of the substance stuff that I teach, no judgment. I do not judge people for that. I just help you understand why you're doing it and learn how to stop if you want to or learn how to manage it better. It's no big deal. Never a judgment with my community. Never a judgment with the tools I teach because judgment is never going to help somebody. I know that it feels helpful sometimes to judge, but it doesn't. It doesn't actually help them. What's up, Kiki? Kiki, do you love me? How to figure out what I want to study. Yes, I would say the best way to answer that question is figure out what life you want in 10 years. Like, you might be like, that's overwhelming. It isn't, right? I think I missed a weight loss question. One sec. Because I thought I saw it and then I feel like I don't want to miss that. I don't know where it went. I'm sorry. If I missed it, I'm sorry. I'll talk about weight loss if somebody asks again. All right. Squirrel. How do you figure out what you want to study? We're back to that. Figure out what you want in your life. It really is this simple. I think so many people were taught to do this backwards. Modern society teaches us that we should figure out what degree we want and then figure out what life we can build around that degree. That's not what I believe. You should figure out what life you want in 10 years and then build your life and your career around that desire for that life, right? So if I want to be traveling all around the world in 10 years, I can't be like a doctor with a practice I guess you could figure it out. But in general, most doctors that have a practice, you have to be locked to that place, right? If I want to be a stay-at-home mom, like why would I even be worried about the career? How can I position myself and get ready to be a mother, right? So figure out what life you want and then look backwards, and it's much easier to answer questions like what should I do for a career when you have a plan that in the future that you're aiming for, right? Do I need to be certified? I don't think so. In life coaching, you don't. I have 3 certifications, and I will tell you that the certifications help me, give me tools, and they also help me believe in myself. But you don't need a certification. I never want you to get a certification in life coaching thinking that you need it to be competent and that you need it to be able. Like the skill set that's going to let you build your business, no matter what business you're in, you guys, or no matter what your dream is, isn't the certification of the school you go to. It's that you choose to believe in yourself every single day. So don't wait to believe in yourself until you're certified or you have a degree, because just letting you know. Rosario, what's up? Hi, I was a life coach for 2 years. How are you? Good. Why'd you say I was a life coach? And if you want help getting back into it, or if you want to just learn some stuff from me, I have a community that's completely for free. I'd love to have you. I'm serious. I'm on serious, or not just the vape. Will this help? My community is going to help you because I'm going to teach you about the emotional roots behind any problem with substances. So it will help you. Should I, as a responsible, ethical life coach who isn't a licensed clinician, realistically, if it's like a heavy drug that you're in physical danger, you should go to the clinical world. But I will tell you that my tools are emotional based, and every problem with substances are emotional at their roots. So yeah, they will help you. It's my responsibility ethically to tell you that maybe you should go to the clinical world in addition to going through the community, rather than just seeing a life coach. Even though I know in my heart and my bones that my tools will help you, I just like to be responsible with that. And I tread that line between clinical and non-clinical very carefully because I respect the clinical world and I have experience in it, okay? What's up, Grow with Jocelyn? Any tips on finding purpose while having to work? I feel so depressed. Well, I think that the big lie in society is that you can't have purpose right now. It's like, yes, you can. There's purpose in everything you're doing. You know, if you actually, and this is where religious beliefs help me, and then I'll give you a psychiatric example, okay? There's a psychiatrist you make should be based on what your heart's saying to do, not what other people think is best for you or what other people want you to do. That's my thoughts of the military. Not good nor bad. It's very non-polarized. Helping lose weight. There's that comment. Yes, if you want to lose weight, there's 2 things you gotta do. First of all, you have to figure out when you're hungry and when you're not. I know that sounds simple, but it isn't simple. A lot of people are so disconnected from their body, they have no idea when they're physically hungry, okay? That's step number 1. The second thing you have to do is understand what emotions you're feeling and how you're responding to them. Because every time that you overeat food when you're not hungry, overeating, not just eating, overeating, it's because you're experiencing an emotion you don't want to experience, so you're using food to avoid that emotion or change that emotion, okay? How can I save money better? My genuine answer for you is, what if you could just find a way to make more money? I don't like to look at scarcity beliefs, and saving money is a scarcity belief in my opinion. Like, what if I could make enough money to where I could save and still have the things I want? I would just like to think of it a different way. Jeffrey, self-employed life coach, a substitute teacher, Uber Eats driver. Actually, this is my main job. Who slept with his wife? Who slept with Jeffrey's wife? Can somebody raise their hand and let me know who it was? He's having a bad day. It wasn't me. I'm gay. I did not touch your wife. Sorry. All right, I'm skipping some comments. I love you guys, but I'm getting back. All right. My audio's out. Is my audio still out? It's back. Okay. Sorry. Sorry about that. Wait, now I want to know if it's really live. Yes, I'm live. Okay, recording confirmed. You guys are ridiculous. Listen, I'm trying to just do a live here, and y'all are ridiculous. I get like 10 comments behind, I have an audio problem, and then you're all attacking me. Come on. Thanks for the likes. Give me some likes. Help me feel some love this morning. It's kind of crazy to me that people think I'm recording. If you just scroll up to the comments, well, I guess you can't scroll because you just got here, right? That makes sense. Now that makes sense. It's my bad. All right, I'm live. Can I get self-love advice? Yes. Self-love is just literally creating a relationship with yourself where you actually believe good thoughts about yourself. That's it. That's a very simple concept to understand. It's very difficult to put in practice. If you want to learn how to love yourself more, I would recommend getting in my community. It's a life coaching community. It doesn't matter what you're working on. Self-love, managing substances, going after a career, finding purpose, managing your relationships, having better relationships. It does not matter what you're going after. The whole skill set will be teaching you how to manage your thoughts and your emotions, which is exactly the same skill set that you will use to learn how to love yourself more. And it's really important because loving yourself is the most important thing you can do, because whatever relationship you have with yourself is the exact relationship you export to other people every time. Okay. Also, the depth of your relationship with yourself will reflect the depth of the purpose you create in your own life. Okay. So you're welcome, Rose. I'm happy to have you, girl. I swear I'm live. All right. Also, if anybody wants to join my community, I'd love to have you. Okay. You missed it. The audio was trippy. You got to believe us. No, I believe you. I just I get it. I don't know if it was this or what happened, but oh, you know what? I know what it was. So my grandpa and I are sharing a car right now, and he turns on the car and the Bluetooth goes over, and it's the funniest shit because this has been going on for like 3 months. My Bluetooth is turned off, but for some reason it still connects to the Apple CarPlay. I don't know how that happens. So he's like literally that man gets so confused every time he gets in the car. He always leaves while I'm doing a live. It's like I don't know how it happens. I need to figure that out. All right. What made me become a life coach? Well, I'll be honest with you. I was in the therapeutic world. I was going to become a therapist because I wanted to help people in the most meaningful way. And I think that I was trying to feel what I wanted was to help people in the most meaningful way I possibly could. And I entered into the therapy world. So I got my 4-year in psych. I was working in a psych hospital. I was on track to become a therapist. And therapy wasn't it. It just wasn't it for me. I saw therapists that I was working with that I wasn't impressed with. The curriculum wasn't speaking to me. And it just wasn't the tools that I thought I would learn in the world of mental health. Anyways, long story short, I stumbled across a life coaching podcast, completely changed my life, and decided to go all in on life coaching. I think that life coaching is the most important thing I can teach people. I think it's ridiculously expensive for most people, and that's why I'm trying to make it accessible. That's why if you want to join my community, I'd love to have you. And yeah, that's it. And then if you ever want to buy courses or coaching from me, it's going to be as accessible and affordable as humanly possible to still make me have a business that supports me, to be completely honest. So, all right, let me see if I skipped some comments earlier. Yeah. Can you ask advice in private? Yeah, just DM me. That's all good. And if you ever want to, too, you can just ask to join my community and then DM me there. I'd almost prefer you DM me in the community because I'd like to have you in the community if you're going to ask me questions, just because I'd prefer you there, honestly. You know what I mean? But you can DM me on TikTok, too, if you're not comfortable joining the community yet. It's all good. He's been hacked. Yeah, by my grandpa. All right. All right, let me sit down. I stand for half this live. I'm going to sit for the other half. Not even that. I don't even think we're at the half point yet, but that's all good. So yeah, I just have to remember to turn off my Bluetooth every day, guys. That's my bad. I've done this like 3 times now where I forgot. And then I turn it off midway through, and then my grandpa's panicking, and I'm panicking, and you guys think I'm a robot, and then, it's this whole mess. You know what I'm saying? It's this whole mess that I could avoid if I just remember to turn off my Bluetooth. All right. So let me get my coffee, my water. Okay. I think I'm going to cut out caffeine again, guys. In November of last year, I cut out caffeine completely because, I don't know, I just wanted to reset. You know what I mean? It was a habitual thing I was doing, and I felt like whenever you have a substance in your life that feels like kind of pulling, I think you want to check why you're using it. And last year I was like literally almost drinking a pot of coffee a day. It was just habitual. I would make a pot in my apartment. I lived alone, and I would just like drink coffee throughout the day. And I realized one day I was literally drinking a pot a day. So I'm like, holy crap, this is a problem. So anyways, how can I get a award-winning dump truck? Realistically, I would say, I don't want to say squatting either, because it's not the only way to build your dump truck, and it's a way that you can easily mess up your lower back. So if you know what you're doing, squatting, but just do like a lot of butt workouts. Also do some kind of a cardio that uses your glutes. Like I do a lot of sled pushing. anything that really activates your glutes. But I think actually, to be honest with you, although it's important to lift, I think if you do heavy weighted cardio with something that you're using your butt, you'll get a, do you want a bigger butt or a nicer shaped butt? Nicer shaped cardio, bigger working out, you know, that's my answer. All right. So we heard car sounds. Yeah, it makes sense. We heard Grandpa jingling his keys. Oh my God, that's so funny, you guys. All right. All right, if you want to stop vaping, Isaac, so if you want to stop vaping, there's three things you got to understand. There's three parts, okay? There's a chemical, an emotional, and a mental element to vaping, all right? So a lot of people think that when they quit vaping, all they have to do is overcome the chemical, 3 to 5 days of discomfort, 3 to 10 days of discomfort, but that's not actually the real problem. The real issue is that you have thoughts and emotions behind the scenes that have made you become somebody who vapes to begin with. So the way that I help people is helping them overcome all three. I call them all three addictions. If you want help with that, I do have a free community, and I will teach you the foundational information that you will need in order to quit, and that's completely for free once you join. So you can always apply to join. I would love to have you. And quitting vaping was my main niche. And then also, if you need additional help, I'll do workshops and things like that. And then finally, if you still need help, I have a 6-hour video course with a workbook that's cheaper priced in my community if you join my community ahead of time. So it's a discounted price. But you can get all the free value first before you ever even decide if I can help you with that. Incognito, yes, because we heard car sounds. It's so funny. Sorry. Okay. Thanks for the follow, Booty Rex. How can I get, yes, we talked about that. The award-winning dump truck. I want to do better in school, but it feels like I have no motivation. Yeah, okay, so motivation is a two-part issue. All right, so one is chemical, one is mental and emotional. The first thing is a lot of people in modern society have motivation problems because they're destroying their dopamine system, all right? So pretty much we have the system in our brain, dopamine, right? That is our natural motivator, hormone, neurotransmitter, whatever you want to call it. There's a bunch of different names. Different scientists call it different things. Hormone, neurotransmitter, chemical, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. Substance, okay? So you have dopamine, and the problem with modern society is that so many people are using an excessive amount of that dopamine that's limited on things like TV, social media, vaping, overeating foods. So our whole society's been designed to destroy the dopamine, which is the natural motivator you have in your brain. And the reason why our society is designed that way is because it's really easy to sell products that use your dopamine because we're motivated to use those things, right? Literally by our biology. So some people have a motivation problem because they are literally destroying the dopamine system. So that's important to understand. Now, the other thing is whatever you're doing that you're trying to motivate yourself for, you don't have a very good reason for why you're doing it. That's the problem. I know that sounds simple, but it really is. What are you thinking about the thing that you want to do better in school? Probably I don't really care about it. It's so hard. I don't know what I'm going to use this math for. I don't know what's even the point of getting a diploma. What's the point of going to college, right? If you're not motivated, it's because the way you're thinking about something every single time, because the way that your thoughts create your emotion. There's no what's the word I'm looking for? There's no exceptions to that rule. Your thoughts create your emotions. Motivation is an emotion. So it has to be the thing you're thinking in the moment when you're trying to motivate yourself that isn't creating emotion in your body of motivation. Okay? So I want to explore that. And if you want help learning how to motivate yourself, get in my community because I'd love to have you. You can ask any question you want. I'll do workshops weekly. I have a course in there called The Foundation. That'll teach you this exact skill set about how to manage your thoughts and your emotions, which is the problem and the solution. Okay? Yes, Serenity, how can I stop living in the past? Again, I'm always going to go back to the foundational information I teach. It's the same basic answer, just a little bit different faceplate depending on the topic. So if you want to stop living in the past, you have to figure out what you're currently believing in the present moment about the past. Right? So that's what we're going to do in the community. It's we're going to learn how to actually look at our thoughts, which is the most important skill set, and then change them so we can create new results. So if I'm stuck in the past, it's because right now in the present moment, our only power in the world exists in the present, right? I'm thinking about the past in a way that's keeping me stuck there. So the solution and the problem is the thoughts in my brain right now. That's what we'll do in the community, okay? Your service and content. Thank you. I got a community. Join it. I'd love to have you. Seriously. And I'm fun. We're going to fuck around. We're going to have a good time. I think life coaching is fun for me too because it's not technically therapy. So I get to say whatever the fuck I want and be myself, which I love. And I know therapists can kind of do that, but not really. I get to be unapologetically myself and teach you ridiculously amazing life-changing tools while still having a good time. So if you want to do that and have fun, join my damn community. Come to the group. We're doing a workshop every week. I'll teach you a new workshop. It's just going to be great. Why not, right? Can you do a pec pop? I actually can. I have a nice chest. Woman, I'll do it in a minute. I will do that for you in a minute. Let me get to your comment. Do you believe in divine timing? Oh my God, yes. I'm very spiritual. I 100% believe in God. I believe God's everywhere. I believe believe in Christianity, but I also believe in bigger spiritual truths that exist in other religions and spirituality as well. But I think divine timing is perfect. And here's what I want to offer to you is like the word coincidence actually I think it's Latin or Greek, it means when two perfect things meet, coincide, right? So the word coincidence by its very definition is two perfect things happening. So a coincidence is a divine thing. It's pretty interesting, right? And if you look at the law of attraction, it's like if you believe something, you attract it. Coincidence. My beliefs match the things that come to my life. So things that look like coincidences for a lot of people are actually being created by the thoughts that they have in their mind. Very interesting. That's the work I do. Jump in my damn program. Because in addition to the fun you're going to have, the value you're going to get for free, all the shit you're going to learn, we're also going to talk about spirituality. So you're going to get into the God stuff and like we're going to talk about God. And it might be triggering to you. And if God's triggering to you, get in my community because I'm going to hopefully de-trigger God for you so that you realize what a divine, perfect, worthy human being you are. So I owe somebody a peck pop 1 minute. Let's do it, bitch. All right, what's it? They don't move very much. I think it's funny. I think this would be kind of gross normally if I was like, ew, gross. But somebody asked, and I'm like, 1 minute. So you're going to laugh because I'm literally wearing a fucking Hannah Montana t-shirt right now. I totally forgot I had this on. Wait, ready? You see it moving? I don't want to do it without my shirt though, but 1 minute. It like kind of bounces, right? Like without the shirt, it really bounces. This is some crazy Monday morning TikTok shit we got going on. All right, sorry. So join my community. Come have fun with me. Jesus, what do I have to do to like? What do I have to do for you people? I keep offering you free shit. Come join. God. And if you ever want to buy a product from me, they're gonna be ridiculously low priced. Come on, but you're gonna get most of the stuff for free. And then seriously, if you ever do, like I have courses in there that I'm building, but they're gonna be like stupidly low price. And then also I'm gonna have coaching that also with me directly, stupidly low price, for the value, and then also what I offer is like ridiculous. All right, there's your peck pop. I'm a mess. Bridge, get in my damn community. You're the perfect mess for my community. I'm telling you right now, girl, okay? And then also you get a welcome call because I'm cool as fuck like that. So you'll literally get a free welcome call to talk to me directly for 20 minutes about whatever the fuck you want to talk about. Just because I want you to be in there. And not only do I want you to be in there, I actually want to build a relationship with you. Whether or not you pay for my products, I want to build a relationship with you because I care about you because you're a fucking divine creator. Anyways, just a girl. I don't know what to cook for my next meal. Give recommendations. Oh my God, yes. Do something, well, I don't want to say fajitas. It's a whole thing. It's a whole process. You know what I'm saying? So I know it sounds weird. Canned chicken. Okay, hear me out. A can of chicken. They make canned chicken. It's fine. It's like tuna, just chicken. Get over it. Canned chicken. And then you want to add 1/4 cup of shredded cheese and then 1 egg. And then mix it together. And then you smash it into patties and then you air fry it. And it's like keto chicken nuggets. None of the flour. None of the bullshit. None of the gluten. So fucking, all the flavor, all the protein, all the delicious fat that nourishes your brain. Yeah, all the omega-3s and the 6s, all right? That shit is so fucking good. I'm a fat man in my heart. I used to be morbidly obese, I'm telling you. I'm actually serious about that. All right, speaking of that, let's talk about food. Sorry about that. I'm not trying to throw that in someone's face, but overeating. All right, overeating is an underfeeling problem. Let me say it again. Overeating is an underfeeling problem. So let's look at this really simply, all right? What I put in my mouth, what actions I take is a result of what emotions I'm feeling in my body. What emotions I'm feeling in my body is a result of the thought that created the emotion. So here's what most people are doing. They're physically full. Your body's like, I'm good. I'm satiated. I've had enough food. But what happens is I have a thought, oh my God, I don't love myself. I feel self-pity or shame. And then I'm eating over that to avoid the emotion. Thank you, OG. So what I'm saying is overeating is always a problem we have with the emotion we're experiencing. The emotion we're experiencing is always being created by a thought. If you want to learn more about that, join my damn community right now because I have a free course called The Foundation that will teach you exactly what I just taught in a 45-minute lesson. It's really good. I'm going to add on to that as well and teach about how your brain works at some point, but right now it's ridiculous value. And it's all for free. All right, so join it and also follow me. Follow me if you join my community. I want you to follow me. I'm an ego monster. I'm just kidding. How can I help keep a healthy relationship? But I need help. How can I keep a healthy relationship? Please need help. Yeah, stop giving your emotional responsibility to somebody else. I'm telling you, the main thing, if we can just learn to look at our own thinking and question it with love and compassion, our relationships get so much better. Because most of the thoughts you're having about your relationship are questions you've never interrogated. Like, it's my partner's job to make me happy. It isn't. Actually, did you know it wasn't your partner's job to make you happy? Let's look at that thought with compassion. Let's do the work on that thought, right? Let's get coaching on that thought. Let's talk about that. Let's change that thought. Because if I show up no longer expecting my partner to make me happy, guess what? I make myself happy. And then my partner makes me really happy because they don't have to show up a certain way for me to love them. That's good, right? join my community. At a certain point, I'm going to do a relationship workshop. I'll teach you all the tools. Girl, bitch, I will teach you all them tools. All right. Can you do back pop? Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Bedbug, you best be following me, girl. How dare you not follow me after that? All right, I'm having trouble with my body. What is going on, right? What is this, free? I can at least slip $1 in my underwear. I'm having trouble with my body image. No matter what I do, I can just never see. Get in my program. Get in my free community. Come on. Come on, get in. Come to my community. I want to talk to you. I mean that, really, because I hated my body my entire life. And I will tell you right now, look, I'm going to show you. Let me show you something. Here, let's get vulnerable here. I still have a little bit of flab, okay? For a gay man, I'm morbidly obese. I just want you to know right now. This is morbidly obese for a gay man, all right? And I don't hate myself anymore. And if I want to lose it, I will. And if I don't want to lose it, I'll keep eating ice cream on Sunday nights, okay? So what I want to say to you is the actual amount of fat on your body or what you look like physically has nothing to do with your own relationship with yourself. It's just that we've been conditioned our whole life to hate ourselves. And that is something that will help you uncondition, decondition in coaching. So get in my community, learn the tools, learn the foundation, and then we're going to add on to it. And as this community grows, I will create a bunch of resources for you, okay? Because I know what it's like to hate myself. I spent 25 years practicing that, and it didn't really create the life I wanted, okay? So you deserve to feel good about yourself. You really do, no matter what you look like or how much you weigh, okay? I really believe that. Anyways, here we are. Good. You best join. You best join my damn community. Listen, it's free. And if I have seriously, I'm very fucking forward with people. If I either don't think you need coaching or any paid product, I will never offer it to you. And also, if I do offer you a paid product, it's gonna be a ridiculously good value, and you can always say no. Okay. So I just want you to know that I'm trying to make this shit accessible because I believe in what I do, and I want you to join my movement. And it's a free community. And also there's an app called School. It's free. It's like literally you can get on there whenever. I'm gonna do workshops. I have the free trainings. I will add free courses on as you go. Like there's no reason for you not to join. And at some point I might charge for the community. I don't know. So join now. You'll be grandfathered in. There's nothing you have to do other than that. Okay. Yes. Okay. So let's talk about one second. Blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna answer all these questions. We're gonna do a speed round. All right. All right. Quit vaping. Go to my community, and there's a foundational course that'll help you understand it, and I have a discounted course in there after the foundation if you still need help. Okay. I see some movement. Okay. Thanks for the follow. Just weird person. How can I keep a healthy relationship? Yes. Okay. We talked about that. Question your thoughts about the relationship. Take responsibility for your own emotions. That's the basic skill set I will teach you. That's the answer. Okay. Thanks, Cheryl. Join the community, Cheryl. Welcome. I'm so happy to have you. Okay. Harvest our souls. Is ketosis good? It can be. It just. I believe in non-polarization. That's what I mean is, I try to stay right in the middle of a lot of things. So ketosis can be good and it can be damaging. You want to look at the reasons you're doing it. I did ketosis for an entire year. During COVID, 2020, I did ketosis the entire year. And what ended up happening was it actually made the relationship with myself worse because I was restricting so badly that I gained weight every single time that I wasn't doing ketosis. So I think that the best diet, the best way to eat is the one that allows you to feel like you love yourself the whole way through. It's that simple. And I don't think ketosis was doing that. Now, with that said, I do low carb most of the time still. I just don't get to the place of being neurotic with it where I don't eat fruit or things like that. And I was neurotic before. Thoughts on Botox? Yes. I non-polarized, okay? So you want to look at the reasons you're getting it for yourself. All right, make sure you like the reasons. I have a friend that gets migraine. She gets Botox that helps her with her life, right? I also have a friend who doesn't love himself, and he gets Botox because he doesn't love himself. So you want to make sure you like the reasons you're doing, okay? You joined. Yes, it's called School, SKOOL. It's a free app. Download it. You can log in. You'll be logged in for as long as you have your phone. It's super simple. And yeah. Do I love Christ? Absolutely. And Christ loved me. Absolutely. I'm very spiritual. I wouldn't say religious because I believe in things not just Christianity. I believe in Taoism. I believe in God being everywhere. So my beliefs do align with Christianity, but they're not just Christianity. That's the best way I can say it, okay? And I will talk about that in my coaching. You don't have to adopt that. It's totally okay. You will get so much value if you're not spiritual religious, but because I am, I do talk about it, and you can just veto that part out of the coaching. It doesn't matter. And also, I'm never going to push religious beliefs on someone or spiritual beliefs on someone. It just, because it's who I am, I talk about it, but I will never tell you that it's right to believe this or wrong to believe this. That's not what coaching is, okay? Yes. I have addiction for cock. What do I do? We all do, honey. Join the club. The cock addiction club. Join the community. We're talking about it. I'm still figuring that one out. I'm just having fun. Canned chicken, 1/4 cup of cheese, 1 egg, air fry. Got it. Yeah, and the cheese can be whatever you want. Like shredded cheddar, shredded pepper jack. I would say pepper jack's the best. But it doesn't matter. Just some kind of cheese that you like that you mix together. And it like makes little chicken nuggets. And they're so good. My qualifications. Okay, Bree, I'm so sorry it took this long to get here. Hopefully you're still here. I have 3 coaching certifications. I have a 4-year in psych. I've worked in the clinical world for 2 years. I've owned my own business just doing this without any other side income for the last 3 years, just coaching people. So those are my qualifications. I also have the #1 podcast in the world for quitting vaping. In addition to that, I've had 2 podcasts over the last 4 or 5 years. And I've coached about 300 people in my own business and outside of my business. And relatively, I would say, with a 95% success rate. The other 5 was what I would call a learning fee. Well, you learn a new skill, right? Okay, so I'm having fun. Good. Me being gay makes you comfortable. Good. Join my community. It's all good. I'm not gonna hit on you if you're gay or straight or woman, man, they, them. I'm not gonna hit on you anyways. It'll all be like totally respectful and responsible and relatively professional, depending on your definition of professional. But yeah, anybody can feel comfortable joining the community. It's a loving place for everyone, and we're hopefully not going to weird new people out. Tips and what's up, Casino? Welcome back. Tips and finding your purpose. Yes, I do. The biggest tip I have for you is like, if you could, I want you to. It's an exercise, right? Enjoy my community, Casino, because you've been on here a bunch. I want you in there. If you could have any life that you want, doesn't matter what the life is, any life that you want, what would it look like? Let yourself dream. The reason why so many people have issues with purpose is because they actually know what they want. It's like deep down, it's like, I really do know what I think I know what I want. But we're so like covered in limiting beliefs from other people that we don't even allow ourselves to dream. So like if you sat down in a room with God today, or even without God, let's just say some all-powerful being that could help you achieve your dreams, whatever they were, right? But I use the word God, and I believe in God. Let's say you sat down with God today. God said, you literally can have anything you want in life. What would it look like? And you're going to realize really quickly that you actually know what you want pretty well. So the reason why you think you don't have purpose is because you are believing that what you really want isn't possible. So when we remove the reasons we think it's not possible, we realize really quickly that we actually have a pretty good idea, right? And it doesn't have to be crystal clear. It doesn't have to be like, oh, in 10 years, I want this community and I want 1,000 people and I want this income exactly and I want this. It's like, but I know that in 10 years I want to have a job that feels good to me, changing the world. I know that coaching feels great to me right now. I know that I would love to be able to afford to support myself, a family, and also to help my parents out. I know that I would love to have a job that feels good to me and be relatively free and be able to travel, right? So like, you don't have to have extreme precision. Also, I'm going to do a course on this called Passion Greed in my community. And it's all about how we think we need to have all the details worked out before we take action, and it's not true. We just need to have a little bit of the piece. Ava, how do I stop overthinking and self-sabotage my relationships? We're healthy, but it's hard not to. Ava, join my community. I have a free community online. I teach you the foundational tools in a 45-minute course that'll change your mind on this. And then I'm going to release a relationship workshop and course at some point soon. And the workshop will be completely free. It's going to teach you the basic tools. And then the course will either be free or it'll be like low ticket, less than $100, and it'll be completely amazing. If it's a paid course, it's going to be really in depth, and if it's a free course, it'll still be relatively in depth for free. So join my course, my community for free, and then I would love to have you. I would love to have you in there. It's really, really good stuff. Okay, Delilah, I love that name. My favorite flowers are dahlias. They're the prettiest. They're like the geometrically gorgeous. If somebody can find me a strain of dahlia that is scented, let me know, because I love scented flowers and I can't find one. Why do I let a man I'm with keep messing up and I always forgive him? Realistically, I don't want to say that I know for sure, but I think I have a good idea. Generally, why that's happening is because we don't have a good enough relationship with ourselves to actually believe that the man we want, we deserve. So we're staying in a relationship with a man we don't want or that doesn't deserve us because we don't believe in our own worthiness. Right? That makes sense, right? Pretty direct. Bean, what if my relationship wants me to find a direction to vaping while overeating? What if my relationship wants me to find a direction to vaping while overeating? That's okay. It's all good. I vaped and I overate for most of my life. I believe that my life's better without those things. At least doing it all the time, right? I'll still hit a vape occasionally. If a friend has one, it's not a big deal. I'll still overeat sometimes at like a party. I'm like, yeah, I want to eat. But my life's better having those things managed. What are your qualifications? Yes, Bree. Education. So you're a formal education person. I can get behind that. I have a 4-year degree in psychology. I have 2 years working in the clinical field. So I've actually worked in a psychiatric hospital for 2 years, and you get constant and consistent education, both formal and experiential in a place like that. So those are my technical like clinical training. But what I do isn't clinical as a life coach. And I don't believe that anything I teach on is clinical. I believe these are all normal problems people have without it necessarily being abnormal or a disorder. So my technical training that isn't clinical is I have 3 coaching certifications, varying from 52-hour, one of them was 52-hour self-paced, one of them was a 6-month intensive. The other one was a 6-week intensive. So those are my technical training. So about a year of coaching certifications in training, and then I also have 3 years of actually helping people with these problems. And I do have the #1 podcast in the world for quitting vaping. So I don't care what clinicians out there or what person has more training. My tools are the most effective in the world right now for helping people with that and with managing that substance, and all substance issues are the same. So I stand on that. So yeah. Okay, we talked about that. Ava, how do I stop overthinking? Yeah, we talked about you're being gay makes you awesome. Christ is king, 100%. I agree with that. And Christ works through people. So I believe that the tools I teach are actually very spiritual and religious and given to me right from God to teach people. So if you're interested in that and that makes sense to you, that my mission also in life is to make these tools actually accessible to a lot of people, because right now life coaching has become this bastardized thing where people are charging tens of thousands of dollars for something that I think should be affordable for everyone. Okay. I just got cheated on. What do I do? I think you should do 2 things. One is don't take it personally. It's not, right? Whenever somebody cheats, it's because they have a poor relationship with themselves, right? That's always true. I promise you. There's no exceptions to that, right? Their actions outwardly reflect what's going on inside. So if they're cheating on you, they're cheating on themselves. Literally. I'm just saying that. That's a fucking truism, first of all. Second of all, I would recommend that you figure out what you want to do. What would you do if you believed in the highest version of yourself was in you today? What would that version of you do? And take action from that place. For me, the highest version of Andrew doesn't get cheated on. And if he does, he doesn't stay in a relationship. Because the highest version of Andrew doesn't do cheating, right? The highest version of Andrew is like, even if I'm gonna, listen, I've played this out in my mind. If I'm at a party and I feel the need to have sex with someone I'm not in a relationship with, I will literally call my partner and be like, we need to break up because I can't cheat on you. Because I love myself enough to be honest with you the whole way through. That's it. So the highest version of me doesn't stay in relationships where I get cheated on, because I would never take that action. And if I wouldn't take that action to my partner, I wouldn't receive it either. Okay? So figure out what you want. Honor that for yourself. Take action from the highest version of yourself. And if you're having trouble doing that, join my community. We'll talk about it. I'd love to have you, seriously. And I have a course in there called The Foundation that's going to blow your fucking mind. It's going to blow your fucking mind. Okay? I'm having fun. This has actually been such a fun live. Thank you guys for doing this today. And I'm so happy to have the community open. It's great. Advice on corn. Yes. Any problem you have with something like corn, vaping, etc., it doesn't matter. It's all the same roots. Okay. The very basic truth is that we use substances of any kind to change the way that we're feeling internally, and that's always emotional. Okay. So we use that to change how we feel emotionally. Now, I'm not saying it's bad to use things like that. I watch it probably twice a week. No, not a big deal. I moved back in with my parents a couple months ago. I had my own apartment for a couple years and moved back in because I'm trying to save money before I moved to Austin. And I'm not dating right now. Like, I'm 29 years old. My ass is not about to bring a boyfriend and I'm also going to move. So like, still, I watch porn. Not a big deal. A couple times a week. I don't find an issue with that. But if it's compulsive or you're doing it often and it's creating results you don't want, the reason why is because you're using it to avoid negative emotions. Emotions like loneliness, shame, dread, fear, anxiety, panic. But a lot of times when people have issues with porn, it's because they don't actually have a good relationship with themselves to go out into the dating world. So it's to avoid their feeling of inadequacy they have towards themselves, right? And it doesn't feel like that in the moment. Of course, I'm not like sitting down to watch porn like, oh, I don't feel good about myself. It's like, no, it's just that feels really interesting right now. It's very drawing. Whenever there's whenever there's an issue in any kind of chemical or anything or thing that we're using and it feels compulsive, whether it's like food or vaping or corn, like, the reason it feels compulsive is because right now what's in my body is an unpleasant emotion I'm trying to get out of. So it's a pulling to get out of that emotion, okay? My community is right in my link in my link tree. It's called the Life Coaching Community. It's on school, but you can just go to my link tree, first link. I just opened it today. I'd love to have you. Okay. Advice, yes. If you're definitely manifesting your life, yeah, 100%. Everyone is, right? And now the problem with most people is that we're doing it on accident. So what I help people become in my whole course and my programs is I help you become an intentional manifester. That's the whole thing. Because right now, if you're overweight or you're not in a relationship you like, or you have all these things that are negative in your life, it's because of the way we're thinking and we're manifesting that. We just aren't aware of it. So I help you learn how to manage your thoughts, become aware of it, change it on purpose, and then you manifest things on purpose. That's it. That's life coaching. It's really good. Tips on getting motivated, cleaning and working. Yes, find a way in your mind to care about whatever you're going to do. If you can find a vision for what you're going to do and it's important to you, then your motivation will flow naturally. How do I stop overeating? Start feeling your emotions. It's not a food problem, it's an emotional problem. See it that way and you can solve it. And if you want help with that, join my community. I'll do a workshop on it in a couple weeks. Thank you so much. I need this. You're welcome, Lana. Lana, jump on my community. I'd love to have you, seriously. And I also, I don't know if this is an L or an I. Ayana? I don't know. But I also have a free foundational training and I'm going to do workshops every week. So like get in, start learning the tools, and it's great. What if all my dreams are a lot more superficial than yours? No, not at all. My dreams are superficial too. Like, just because you see me being a life coach doesn't mean I'm not superficial in different areas, right? Like, I want to have a Hyundai Genesis. Like, I want to have a $60,000 like sports car sedan. Why? Why not? Because I want it. Like, I'm not going to judge my dream, right? I like cars. It's an interest I have. I used to sell them, so I want to have a nice one. That's superficial, totally. But I'm not going to feel bad about it. I want to have abs, right? I want to have a body that feels good to me. Totally superficial. I don't need it. Like, even if I was 10 pounds overweight, it wouldn't be unhealthy. But I want to have a body where I feel, why? Superficial. So don't judge your wants. Don't judge your wants. It's okay. The reason why I like life coaching is because I have just always been someone who needs to get right into people's core and help them. It's just something I like doing. Don't judge your wants based on other people, please. And every desire you have, as long as it feels like something you really want on the inside that feels loving, is there from God. I believe that. So don't judge it. It's like my purpose is not more important than your purpose, and vice versa. Okay? All right, one sec. Alex, I violated probation for second-degree assault. Oh no, why'd you do that? I was on probation in 2013 for I was smoking grass and driving. Work, yes, community is in the link in my bio, okay? And if you need to find it and type it yourself, it's on school, SKOOL, Life Coach Andrew. How I know if somebody manipulated me? Why are you asking? That's all I want to offer. But here's the thing, is that I'm not saying this to blame, but manipulation happens in here for ourselves. So if somebody does something that's manipulating us, we agreed to it and we probably ignored the signs along the way. And I'm not saying that to blame or shame you, but just what I want to offer you is, what did they do? What was their part? And then also, just to be fair, what was your part in it? I'm doing this for personal responsibility and personal empowerment, not to blame or shame, okay? It's important for us to be able to say, you know what, that did happen. It made me feel bad. They lied to me. But also, now in the future, what did I do? What was my active part so I won't recreate that situation for myself in the future, right? Advice for self-doubt, self-sabotage. Yeah, everyone has it. Join my community. I'm going to teach you mindset tools that'll help you overcome that. Everyone, you know what's awesome is that it's a really good question. I can tell that it's well articulated and that you're thinking really well about it, because self-sabotage is the reflection, it's the outcome of self-doubt. So a lot of people, they have doubt for their dreams and then they sabotage their dreams, like when they start to get successful, or if I'm sabotaging, it's because I don't believe in myself. There's a part of me that doesn't believe what I want is possible or that it's good. So self-sabotage is the natural cause and effect of having self-doubt. So what's the advice for that is get really honest about what it is that you think and believe about whatever you're trying to achieve, right? So for example, I work with a lot of business owners. I worked with a lot of coaches over the last couple of years, a lot of just, whether it's a physical business, online, in person, whatever it is. So many people, they sabotage their own success because they believe deep down that they're either not worthy, they don't deserve it, they have all these money programming, all this bullshit, right? So it's natural, it's normal. If you're self-sabotaging, it's a really good indication, it's a red flag to look inward and see what part of me is doing that on purpose, right? And if you want help with that, get in my community. I'll teach you some basic tools for free. I'll do a workshop every week. Like, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Get in the community. It's free right now. I'd love to have you, and it's going to be so valuable. And in like a year, there's going to be so much amazing content in there that will help you all for free. And then if you ever decide to pay for a course or a coaching with me, it'll be as affordable as I can possibly make it, okay? That's my mission. All right, so we're on self-doubt. One sec. My podcast is on Spotify. It's everywhere. The Quit Vaping podcast is one of the top 2 podcasts in the world in terms of how many people listen to it. It's very popular. It's very good. So it's everywhere. Yeah, the Quit Vaping podcast, if somebody wants that. Now, also, if you want to get in the community, I also teach the foundational material in there for free. So what's the easiest way to start quitting vaping? Do the emotional work behind the scenes. So before you quit vape, I would say before you ever try to quit vaping, go and learn how to manage your thoughts and your emotions around nicotine. That's exactly what I'll teach you in my community, in my podcast, Quit Vaping podcast. It doesn't matter, okay? Doesn't matter where you go. The information's always good and always similar. Is there any way to get over being conventionally unattractive? Nobody ever liked my face. Yeah, stop thinking that you're conventionally unattractive. It's really important. You've got to take a more objective perspective on your attraction, because like, there are people out there that will find you attractive if you find yourself attractive. But if you walk into a room thinking you're ugly, your energy speaks louder than your face. That's my quote of the day, by the way. Your energy speaks louder than your face, okay? So remember that. And if you want help learning how to do that and learn how to actually create a relationship with yourself where you walk into a room and feel good about yourself, get in my community. That's fine if you don't get back with them. I don't know what was Cat. I'm sorry. How do you motivate yourself to start the change today rather than tomorrow? Have a good reason to, right? It's either have a good reason to, like, I can no longer tolerate living in this life, or be compassionate with yourself, right? So many people, they're not making changes in their life because they talk to themselves so horribly, and they don't even want to step into a growth for their life because of the way they're going to talk to themselves if they don't succeed. So like, be compassionate. hey, you know what? Maybe things don't have to be that bad for me to want to make a change. Maybe I love myself enough to go and sign up for this community or buy this program or watch this video or take this action or call the potential client, you know? The best motivator is always love for yourself. It really is. That's why if you're trying to lose weight by shaming yourself or quit vaping by shaming yourself, it's going to have the complete opposite response and you're going to binge and purge. Okay? So find a way to compassionately do it. How to prevent using it for negative emotions. Exactly, right? You don't want to shame yourself. You can always do that. It's always an option. My quote from last week, my quote of the week was, shame is always optional and it always hurts you. So if something is optional, it's always going to hurt you. Why not just not choose it? Right? It's a good question. How to deal with overthinking. It's not an overthinking problem. It's an overbelieving problem. So what I'm going to help you do in my community, Natalia, is I'm going to help Natalia. I love that name. It's so pretty. I used to work with Natalia at the gym I worked at. She was this older Russian lady. And she's fucking amazing. We'd make each other little foods. I was in my baking era and she was in her baking era always. So she'd bring me Russian desserts. I'd bring her Italian dessert. It was so fun. Anyways, overthinking is an overbelieving problem. And what that means is that you can't always control every thought that comes in your head. It's just going to pop in. But what you have complete control is whether or not you want to believe it and decide to believe it. And that's exactly the skills that I teach as a life coach. So get into, as a good life coach, because there's a lot of bad ones, get into my community. I teach a course called The Foundation. It's going to help you with that exact thing, all for free. And then from then on, you can be in the community asking questions, embodying, learning, showing up. There's workshops we do once a week. So yeah. Prevention is better than the cure, right? I agree with that. Instead of quitting an addiction, just don't start. I agree with that, but here's my thing. My tools work so well that I teach you how to manage an addiction so you never have to fear going back. I think a lot of people are scared to even try it, or they go black and white on things like, oh, I just never drink because I'm scared I can't control it. It's like, no, I'll teach you how to control it so you can have a healthy relationship. So I try to be very non-polarized with my information. What that means is I try to take a very middle ground approach because there are no absolute rights or wrongs. Truly, there aren't. And the best version of your life for yourself is going to be able to figure out where your middle ground is for yourself, right? For me, it doesn't serve me to believe, even though I'm the quit vaping coach and I literally have the #1 podcast in the world on that subject, it doesn't serve me to believe I can never touch nicotine again. So whenever I'm at a party, if I want to hit a vape, I'll hit it. Not a big deal. It doesn't mean I'm going to go buy one. It doesn't mean I'm always thinking about it and I'm missing out without it. It just means that I have a non-polarized approach. I've learned how to manage myself around it, and that's the best version of nicotine for me. For other people, it might mean never touching it again, right? But I want you to be able to determine that line for yourself, and that is what happens when you get into this work and start learning about your thoughts, is that we get to decide what to think and believe about our life, and that's where your life becomes really juicy for yourself. Not because some person tells you never touch it, or, that's the skill set you're going to learn in the community and with my tools, and that's why it's so good. Make sense? I used to doubt life coaches too, by the way. I was totally a non-believer. I was literally going to become a therapist, and I was so close, but my heart didn't say that it was the right choice. And I found life coaching. And I'm like, shit. All my beliefs about life coaching have to change if I want to do this field. So now I'm on a mission to give this. I really am on a mission to bring this to as many people as I can. Whether you ever give me money or not, I just think it's important. It's really, the tools are amazing, right? Yes. How to stop adult tantrums. If it's for you, you need to learn how to be okay with your emotions and to stop blaming other people for them. The reason why adult tantrums are happening is because of the thought we're believing in the moment that's creating the tantrum. That's exactly right. So, and there's so many thoughts that you have that you've never looked at, and that's the problem. It's like, oh, she made me mad. Well, no, she didn't make you mad. You literally cannot have an emotion created in your body from somebody else's actions. What creates your emotions? Your thoughts. Like literally, if I'm speaking very chemically, like when you have a thought, it releases chemicals in your body. That's an emotion. You cannot release chemicals in your body without a thought. So nobody else can create your emotions. So the reason why so many adults are having tantrums is because they've never learned the basic emotional intelligence it takes to be an adult. And it's not their fault. I'm not saying that to be rude to you, by the way. I didn't know these tools until I was 25 years old. And I became a life coach. And that's why I became a life coach. Because I'm like, why isn't everyone teaching these tools? How to manage your thoughts and your emotions? Like, what? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. In the psych hospital, they weren't teaching that. And there was people there who needed that skill set the most. So I brought these tools into the psych hospital, and once it started changing patient lives in a way that the clinical world couldn't, I realized I needed to do this. So if you want to learn this, like I believe it, I'm not talking bad about the clinical world either. There's a place and time for it, but I'm telling you, like if you want to learn how to have a better life, please sign up for my community. I have a free course in there called The Foundation, and that foundational course will teach you what I'm talking about right now. And then every week I'm going to add on. It's a new community, so let it grow and add value, but it's gonna snowball, and I'm really excited to have it, and I want you to be in there. And right now it's free, and it won't be free forever. At some point I'm going to charge monthly subscription, so get in, grandfather yourself in for free. Okay, until I got my first 100 or 200 people. Quit vaping has been so hard. Yes, the reason you can't stop quitting vaping is because you haven't changed the mind that created it. So I have a course and I have a podcast. It's called the Quit Vaping Podcast, and the course is called Escape the Vape. And what I'm going to teach you is that there's 3 parts of every addiction. There's a mental, chemical, and emotional. All right. And one of the most famous people in the world, all right, Einstein, he said that you cannot solve a problem with the same mind that created it. And what he meant when he said that is that if you want to get new results in your life, you have to change the way you're thinking. So many people try to quit vaping without changing the thoughts that have led them to addiction to begin with. And from that place, it's impossible to quit. You're always going to be in willpower and you have to go back. So if that makes sense to you, join my community, go listen to the podcast, take the free foundational course, and that really should do it for you for vaping. If it doesn't, you still need help. I have a course in there that I believe is optional because of the free resources I provide should actually help you quit for good. But the course is $97. But before you ever spend that money, go get on the stuff for free, go listen to podcasts, and then I just think I can help you with that. Most people for free without needing the coaching or the courses. Doobie, how can we get out of the phone addiction? I'm stuck on TikTok. Recognize what emotions you're currently using to avoid when you're on your phone. A lot of people have lives that they don't like, and then the only thing that they can do to avoid all those emotions of like boredom and anxiety and shame and guilt is use their phone. So it's never the substance itself that's the problem. It's never that. It's always the emotions that are making us use it. So if you look at that with the bigger picture, you can solve the problem. And if you want help understanding that, go to my community, Doobie. I'd love to have you. And there's a free course called The Foundation that will help you out. What's more important, discipline or motivation? Well, I don't think that's a good question because motivation drives discipline, okay? So a lot of people who don't understand how the mind works online, they say, oh, you just got to force yourself in action. Well, it's like you can't. You can't do that in the long run, right? Because if you're forcing yourself into action, you're literally doing what an overeater does when they're trying not to eat and then they're restricting, right? It's temporary. It's never a good solution. So instead of trying to force yourself into actions you don't want to take, just like trying to force yourself to not eat sweets when you want to and then binging and exploding, right? If you have a pattern where you're forcing yourself into action, then you're relapsing and back and forth and you're never actually making progress. It's because you're not actually learning how to manage your thoughts and your emotions around your goals. That's the actual problem. Makes sense? So sign up for my community. I'd love to have you. Go to the foundational course. I'll teach you how to manage your thoughts and your emotions in 45 minutes. It'll change your life. And then every week from then on, I'm going to do workshops and add courses and more workshops and community and Q&As. It's going to be so good. So join. Okay? Can I give you practical tips for not overeating? Yes, a practical tip for not overeating is when you're in the moment, when you're physically ready to eat, before you eat anything, it doesn't matter, whenever you're gonna eat something today, practical tip, take a 2 minutes, just 2 minutes, you're still allowed to eat after, take 2 minutes to breathe and ask myself, is there an emotion present in my body? And if you can't answer that question, that's why you're overeating, by the way, if you can't answer that question. And if you can answer that question, name the emotion. And then let yourself say this out loud. It is okay to be in this emotional experience. Nothing has gone wrong. I'm a human being. Anxiety, boredom, shame, dread, all normal emotions. Nothing's gone wrong. And then once you eat, halfway through the meal, do that exact same thing again. And what you're going to find very quickly, if you're actually willing to do this exercise, is that you have an emotional problem, not a food problem. That's exactly right. And if you want help taking this deeper, join my community. And I would love to have you. And I will do a workshop on overeating in the future. Totally free workshop. And then I might make a low-ticket course on it with a workbook on how to actually go through and lose weight. I'm not sure yet. I'm sure that'll happen. I just don't know when it's gonna happen. But the workshop I can do within the month if people are, get in the community, I do a welcome call with the community. It's a free 20-minute call with me to talk about whatever you want to get in the community. I'm gonna keep a whole spreadsheet, keep lists, and then I'm gonna use that list to figure out what to make courses on. Make sense? So get in. It's just amazing. All right. How can I join? Not DM me. The link's in the bio. It's literally the first link in my link tree is join my community. Okay? Yourself life coach doubts. I did too. I get it. How can I get crippling addicted to something? Oh my gosh. I was thinking ice, maybe black tart. Oh my gosh. How can I join? Yes, in the bio. Yay, you joined. Yay. You guys, this is so exciting. I'm getting people in there. Oh my God. Yes, link is in the bio. And then you'll get a welcome call. When you go into the DMs, you'll get an automatic DM from me to say, hey, sign up for your welcome call. And that'll be nice. And then we'll get on there and I'll talk to you and figure out what you need. And I'm going to try really hard to accommodate whatever you need in the community, all for free. And then eventually I will have you can always do paid coaching with me. It's cheap though. I'm going to make it as cheap as possible. You don't need it yet. Sign up for the free stuff. Start getting to know me. And then by the time you get to the coaching, because I've already taught you all the stuff for free, the coaching will be so potent because we'll get right into the stuff without having to worry about educating, right? So my whole idea, I'm going to answer some more questions, but my whole idea with this community, just so you guys know, is to give you most of the curriculum completely for free so that if you ever decide to get life coaching with me, it's going to be way cheaper than most coaches charge because we already have the base curriculum down. So the coaching will be we're going to hit the ground running. We're just going to use application, okay? So it'll be really good. I'm really excited. And if you don't want to get coaching, that's okay too. You're still going to get so much free value just because of the nature of how I'm doing it. And if you ever want, there's going to be courses in there as well that'll be much cheaper than they would normally be. So I'm just trying to make this stuff accessible for you guys. All right. I'm responding. Is this pre-recorded? No, it's not. Show me your credentials. I don't want to. I don't think that I need to prove myself. If you don't believe what I'm doing, if what I'm saying to you after all the competence I have in my speech doesn't convince you that I can help you, then I don't need to prove myself to you. I'm not a good fit. And that's okay. I'm not saying that to shame you. I'm not saying that to shame myself. I just think that if you have listened to me speak for a whole hour and all the things I'm saying not one thing has convinced you that I can help you, then we're just not going to be a good fit, because this is how I am with my coaching. It doesn't matter what degree I have. That doesn't change the way I speak and show up as a coach. Okay. He's reading comments, yes, that don't exist. That's not true. I sometimes get sidetracked. Liking, motivation, life direction. Yes, I'm on Grace. After divorce, get in my community. I'll help you. I think that right now the best thing you can do is learn how to want for yourself. I think so many people, they get in a relationship and they forget how to want for themselves. What does that mean? It's like, what do you actually want? If a partner wasn't involved, what's the life you want? I bet you haven't asked yourself that question in your entire marriage. Well, that's what we're gonna do in coaching. It's like, no, let's learn how to figure out exactly what we want and then build a life where we create relationships that match into that. And that's when you can do that, you never feel lonely again your whole life. Because the only time we're alone is when we're not saying yes to ourselves. So I'm going to teach you how to say yes to yourself, create a life that way. You'll feel so much. You'll feel less lonely doing that than you would have ever in a marriage you weren't happy in. Yes, okay, Alan. Or does he have both in this live chat right now? No, I'm reading live, guys. I'm only 8 back, and then I'll get you guys. I'm going to do a speed round, so I'll get to the front. I just don't want to miss people. Have you uploaded lives to YouTube? Yes, and I also, because you couldn't find them, I put them in the community. So the community has a course called TikTok Live Recordings, and I'm just going to list them all there. You can literally go in the community. You can go right on your app on your phone, click it open. Any recording I have is recorded by date, and that's just me riffing, okay? Because I thought about you, Incognito. I'm like, why can't people find these? So I'm like, I'll just put it in the community. Makes the most sense to have all my resources there. Did I smoke previously? Yes, I smoked weed religiously pretty much for 2.5 years straight, like every single day, like 3 to 4 to 5 bowls a day, like every day. I was such a high tolerance. And then I also vaped for 7 years and smoked cigarettes for 2. I see that he's into my question. Awesome. Nutritionalist. Nutritionalist for what? Go to nutritionalist for what? I'm sorry. For what? Ireland, who slept with your partner? Who slept with your girlfriend? I didn't sleep with your girlfriend. I'm a gay-ass man. Okay? Who here did that? Who here slept with Ireland's partner? They're not having a good day. It's not my fault. You can take it out on me, but I wasn't the one that did it. All right. What about cutting addictions like caffeine? Yeah, I can totally help you with that. It's all the same. Thoughts create emotions, drive action. So if you have a problem with caffeine, we got to figure out what emotions you're using caffeine to avoid. Okay? I cut out caffeine in November of last year. It was surprising the withdrawals I had, by the way, from that. But yeah, I will help you with that 100%. And in my foundational course in the community, the course, 45 minutes, it'll teach you about the relationship you have with substances like that, okay? All right. I'm not scrolling, I'm commenting. I'm doing comment. I don't scroll. I try to get everyone's comments because I think you guys are all divine, important creators. Can't wait. Just download the school app. Yay, Cheryl. No shame, bro. I wasn't there. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm beating you up too. I'm beating you up, Ireland, but you're cool. I'm serious. I'm just being an ass. I like fucking with people. What helps you with anxiety, disrupting sleep? Get to the root of the anxiety. And what I'd say, if your anxiety is so bad it's disrupting your sleep, I would actually say it's probably more appropriate for you to try therapy first and see if you have some trauma to work through. Because most people have normal anxiety, and normal anxiety shouldn't completely disrupt your sleep in general. Although I can help you with anxiety, and I will do that in my community, it's my ethical responsibility as a life coach who's not licensed or clinical to say that when I think something may be bordering on clinical, you go to the clinical world first. But with that said, if you want to join my community and come and try to get help that way, you're so welcome. Just know that the responsible answer, even though I can help you with anxiety, is to go to therapy first. Make sense? I try to do that very, very... I skipped your comment. I'm sorry, Sassy. I didn't mean to, girl. Provide credentials? I do. I have a 4-year... I know, you're right. I have a 4-year in psych. I have 3 coaching certifications. I have a 4-year in psych from Southern New Hampshire University. Look it up. I'm on their itinerary. It's actually a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology because it's applied psychology, not... There's like a science one, there's an arts one. I got the applied psychology because I want to learn how to apply it. Makes sense? And then I also got 3 coaching certifications. One's from the Life Coach School, one's from the School of Ecology, one's from Positive Intelligence. There you go. All right. What helps you with anxiety, disrupting sleep? Yes, we talked about that. Okay, I'm scrolling. I'm sorry if I missed some comments. All right, I got too far back and I got confused. Ireland, why would you say that to me? Claiming to be someone with a life coach and saying shit like that. It's really crazy. Don't be a victim. Ireland, don't come up in here being a victim. We are allowed to make jokes. You can make whatever, listen, you're allowed to make whatever joke you want about me because I don't take things personally because I'm a life coach who manages my own thoughts. So if you're getting triggered right now, that's okay, but just know that I'm probably not the best coach for you. If we can't come in here and make jokes because we're taking things personally, then that's the problem you have. By the way, I'll help you stop doing that. But we're here to have fun. I'm not actually saying somebody slept with your partner, all right? And if someone did, and you're triggered by that, you have work to do around it. We'll do it together with love. But just because you have trauma doesn't mean you can't take a joke, let's make that very clear. All right, I respect trauma, and everyone has it in some form or another. But you can take a joke. All right, I just think that that's kind of a new age thing to do. As somebody like a, I think that is not helpful. I don't see trauma. I respect trauma. I can actually help you with trauma, and I respect that it's a real thing. But like, we're not going to be victims about it, because being a victim in trauma is not what you need to get help. And if you want to be a victim in trauma, then go be a victim and just complain. It's not going to help you. Okay, and if you're triggered, that's fine. That's all good. If you want help, I'll help you. Join my community. I'd love to have you. But it's all good. I'm just having fun with you. But like, if you can't take a joke because you're going to blame trauma for it, then we're not going to be a good fit, because I'm going to be very direct with you. And honestly, therapy might be a better place for you, so you can go live out that trauma in a place where you're going to get, like, somebody can just agree with you. But if you needed somebody to agree with you, your life's going to stay the same. The worst thing someone can do with you when your life's not going well is agree with you. I just want to say that with so much love. I mean, that's what I do as a coach. I help you learn how to think about your life in a way that serves you. So, victim blaming. So why? And I'm gonna block you because it's not helpful. But why are you classifying yourself as a victim? Do you see how that might create an issue in your life? So, anyways, 1 minute. I don't like their energy. I think it's very victim-y. So here's what I want to say to you. I'm not going to mute you. I'm going to actually just flat out block you. I don't want you in my lives. Okay. Here's what I want to say, you guys. Trauma is real. All right? But you identifying as a trauma victim is not going to serve you. Okay? So what we do in coaching is we do address trauma. We look at it. We take it really seriously. Even though I wasn't addressing her trauma, she brought that up because she wanted to be a victim, right? Like, I made a joke. She said, I have trauma. I can't take a joke. That's not what trauma's about, by the way. So we're going to address trauma. If we're in an actually coach situation, we respect it. But you classifying yourself as a victim is going to create a life that's very small and weak. And that's the opposite of what we do in coaching. We say, yeah, you've gone through this experience, right? And hopefully we can process the emotions through it and get through trauma. That's how you process trauma. But the skill set we're going to develop in coaching is how to actually think about that and feel about it in a way that empowers you, not makes you feel weak. And I promise you with certainty in my heart, if you classify yourself as a victim in anywhere in your life, you're going to feel weaker. And when you feel weak, you create a small life. And you create things that feel out of control. So just want to say that. But she wanted to be in here and be a victim. And it's all good. Okay, 1 sec. So let's get out of here. She's really going at it. You know what I mean? You can just tell when a victim's here, and that's all right. And we're gonna have fun, but take a joke. We're all here for jokes. I can take jokes. You call me whatever the fuck you want. Call me late to dinner. All right? And we're also gonna help in real ways, but we need to be able to have fun in here. If we can't have fun because someone's getting trauma dumpy, then we're out. All right. Okay. No real. I have so much trauma, and I can take a joke. Yeah, 100%, right? I have trauma too. That's why I can take a joke. Because I'm somebody who empowers myself as an adult, not somebody who wants to feel like a victim and just complain. And I want to say this, now that she's gone, I want to say this to you guys. Sometimes a therapist can actually do more disservice than good by allowing someone to be a victim in their trauma. I'm just going to say that as someone who's being real with you guys, okay? And by the way, I have a 4-year in psych. I've worked in the clinical field. Like, I know trauma's real. No one's here shit-talking trauma, okay? We're here to make the best version of our life. And I promise you, the best version of your life, the highest version of you, is not sitting there in a victimhood over trauma. It's just not. We're not ignoring the trauma. We're working through it, right? But anyways. All right. So, I'm mansplaining. Yeah, see how much victimization, though, right? I'm a trauma victim, blah, blah, blah. You're a man. She probably would have started calling me names by the color of my skin. Like, you know what I mean? Total victim. And I'm not saying that that's wrong, that's not the people that I want in my community. So actually, I'm not going to invite her to my community. And if she joins, I will invite her. It's an exclusive community of people who want to grow and be here and have fun, right? We don't need to blame and get angry, right? Are you happy with where you are in life? I am right now. I could be happier. Well, here's the thing. I am happy, and this is the skill set you want to learn about your life. You want to learn how to be satisfied and grateful for the life you're in while still simultaneously wanting more, okay? So right now I live in Michigan. I want to move to Texas in January. And I am choosing to believe that this is the best place for me to be, even though I have big goals for myself, all right? So the answer is yes. Am I happy? Because happiness happens from a choice I'm making, not from something outside. Like, the amount of money in my bank account, the car I have in my garage doesn't make me happy. It's what I choose to believe. So am I happy? Yes, because I embody the tools I teach. Could I want more? Of course. Are those things that I have in the future going to make me happy? No, absolutely not. It's going to be what I choose to believe in the moment. So the skill set I'm teaching you guys is how to choose to be happy right now, so we can create a life that's impactful. And so that we don't need a new car to feel happy, which won't make you happy anyways. And if you want help, join my community. I'd love to have you. Seriously, I'd love to have you. And I'm not going to be a complete asshole to people in my community. I want you in there and I want to help you. I just think that one girl was just here to be a victim. And I'm going to call people out like that. Because what she needs is to be called out on her story so that she can get help for herself. And therapy sometimes won't do that for her, unfortunately. Yeah, thanks, Incognito. She's just not in that healed time yet. I know. I agree with you. Sassy Fluff, I totally understand where you're coming from. I understand that. But listen. I'm not the person to let her sit in her victim story. Her therapist is. That's why she's going to therapy, right? But if she wants to come into my life, and because I'm not going to go down to a therapist's perspective for what I'm doing, the people I'm going to help are always going to be a coaching perspective. And just because she's not ready for that doesn't mean I'm going to like revert the entire conversation to her level. I'm just not going to do that. And I think that if you're honest about where you are from a advanced perspective, some of the best conversations I've ever had in my life have been the most triggering, because I needed to look back and reflect on why that was triggering for me and be able to do the inner work. And sometimes therapists won't trigger you because they're taught to not sometimes. So just, therapy's not bad. It's a beautiful time. It's just the level of conversation we're having is one where we're not going to allow ourselves to be a victim in trauma. Okay. And I'm going to respect that I know, but I'm going to respect my own opinion on that. Right. Not to be a dick, but she took it that way. No matter what I would have said to, this is what's important to understand, because she was in that victim story, no matter what I would have said, she would have agreed that I was an asshole. So it just doesn't matter. So I'm not going to devalue the whole conversation for everybody else to get on her level when she's just not going to even get she won't be able to receive anyways, right? So it's all good. But I understand, as a coach with someone with love, I understand where she's at. And honestly, like, I probably wouldn't have made a joke about somebody sleeping with her partner if I knew she was going to come out with the trauma stuff. It's just kind of a risk on social media, right? You either make the joke, you have fun, people like you, and we get over it, and we love each other, or you take it personally, and then the conversation goes south, and we just have to end it, right? But I'm willing to take the risk on having fun with people rather than working around someone's own emotions, because as a life coach, I teach people how to manage their own thoughts and their emotions, and that's the best place of the life you can have. So it's all good. But I just want you guys to know, I'm not an asshole. And if you think I am, that's fine. But I really try to be understanding, and I am, but, we're having fun. All right. Yeah. A part-time cult leader. Your symbol is the devil horns. What are you talking about? You're gonna go, it's Invader Zim. Yeah, I know Invader Zim, bitch. I'm 29 years old. I know Invader Zim. All right. Also, if anybody wants to, sorry, Grace, we had a victim come in here that wanted to get upset with me because I made a joke. So sorry, not the right place, I guess, to be a victim and to be angry at me. Anyways, if you guys want. And again, I know that I was a victim at one point in my life too. And you know what the best thing somebody could have told me is that I'm responsible for my life. That was the best. It hurt, but that was the most loving thing somebody could have told me. And they did. And it hurt. And I wasn't ready. And I got triggered. And years later, I went back and I thanked that person. Because that person said something that was uncomfortable for them to say in honor of the best version of me. So, anyways, if you guys want to join my community, seriously, I'd fucking love to have you in there. There's a free foundational course called The Foundation. It's going to teach you the thought and emotional tools I teach. And then every week I'm doing a workshop. Every day I'll be in there adding value. Every single day. Like, we're going to get in there every day. And then if you ever decide to buy a paid product, by the time it gets to be a paid product, it's going to be ridiculously valuable and affordable and accessible, because I want my shit to be accessible for everyone, okay? And even my one-on-one coaching, I'm trying to make it affordable for people, okay? So I know that a lot of coaches charge thousands of dollars a month for coaching, and I think that's ridiculous. I'm trying to make that not a thing. I can agree with that. Yeah, Sassy Fluff. I get triggered by a lot of how it makes me feel. Yeah. It helps me heal, and I learn through. Yeah, and like, this is the thing. If the trigger is a gift, okay? I'm sorry. Like, I get triggered a lot. I got really heavily triggered last week by something my coach said. I didn't even talk to him for 3 days. I totally ignored him for 3 days. He was trying to go. I ignored him, okay? But it's a gift. And if we can transition from being somebody who's in a victim mindset, who is mad at the world, to somebody who gets triggered and asks himself, what needs to heal inside of myself so that I can take control back over the emotions, so that if somebody says something like this again, I don't feel triggered. That's self-empowerment. That's the place I want you to have with your life. So it's all good. But yeah, and I try to be respectful to not mess with people like that, because I know they're in their pain. So, but at the same time, I'm going to be very direct, because me being a baby, really, not me being scared and fearful, isn't going to help them. That's not what they need. They're already scared and fearful for themselves. All right, we're done with that conversation. Can you give practical tips for healing? Yes. I would say 2 things. The number one practical tip I can give you is start writing your thoughts down. Start to become really intimate with the thoughts in your head, because the biggest source of suffering in your world ever, I promise you, is the thoughts you're believing. Not anything anybody else says or does, not anything that happened to you in your past, the thoughts you're believing about those things. So if you want healing, like, I would say I would actually recommend this. Go to my community, sign up for my community, it's in my bio, and in the foundation course, I have an exercise that helps you walk through some of your common belief systems, and that's the most practical tip I can help you with to start healing, becoming aware of certain belief systems. So go in there, it's all free, the course is free. I'm going to do workshops on all of it, I'll keep teaching on all of it, we're going to take it all deeper. So I guess the tips I have for healing is join the community, and it's community, the base, it's on doing this stuff for free for most of the people in there. And then if the point gets where you want coaching and more advanced help, I'll try to make it affordable. But as of right now, you can get so much practical advice and help healing right now without you ever needing to pay anything. All right, let me see what time it is, and then I'll answer some more questions. I've been on for an hour and 14 minutes. Wow, okay, I'm almost done, guys. I'll do a couple more here. Depending on relationships to be happy. Yes, get in my community, because what I'm going to teach you is how to depend on yourself to be happy. Really, that's the foundational tool. Even in all the relationship tools I teach you, and I'll teach you some really fucking good ones. I'm telling you, really good ones. The solution is to learn how to be dependent on yourself to make your own emotions happen. You never want to be reliant on somebody else to feel worthy or loved, and unfortunately, 80% of people in the world are doing exactly that. So the main skill set I teach you is how to actually create your own emotions, how to heal yourself, how to show up in a way that validates yourself and loves yourself, so you're not reliant on a partner to show up a certain way to do that for you. That's exactly it. So get in the course, learn the foundation, and then we'll keep going from there. David Goggins, what's up, Sarah? David Goggins reminded me that the victim mindset does nothing for me. It doesn't. And I'm not saying that, like, listen, I'm a victim. Every day I'm a victim in one regard, right? Like, I promise you, I'm like, somewhere in my life, I'm like, that person's responsible for my income level, or that person's responsible for making me feel bad. Like, I'm a victim every single day, right? So I make space for that part of me, but I also have I started taking it a lot less seriously because I know how to heal that, right? So I'm not saying that I'm never a victim. That's not my thing. But I'm always going to let you know that being a victim isn't where you need to find your power and where you're going to serve yourself. It's always going to leave you feeling like a victim. It's always going to feel... Being a victim always leaves you disempowered. That's the definition of a victim, is that you're disempowering yourself from creating what you want. So it just doesn't serve you. It doesn't mean I'm never a victim. It doesn't mean I don't do things that don't serve me. I do things all the time that don't serve me, right? But more often than not, I don't, and I can teach you how not to, okay? I love David Goggins. He's great. He's very masculine energy. I try to do both. I try to lean on the side of feminine love, energy, creation, and also masculine, let's just fucking do this, right? I think that's the best kind of coaches, are the non-polarized ones. Grace, you can factually be a victim, but got to take responsibility. 100%, and I make space for that. We're all victims. We're all factually victims somewhere in our life, right? Some people, I would say, quote unquote, worse than most, but that's subjective. But I agree with you. I agree with you. We're all victims. Like, we all are going to die. We're all fragile human beings. By the very nature of our existence, we're victims in one sense, right? But it doesn't help you to identify with that and feel bad about it. What's the best way to combat senioritis? I don't think you need to. I think it's okay. I think that senioritis is the completely normal thing that happens when you're like getting ready for the next phase of your life. Like, and especially, I think senioritis it's a very culturally created thing, right? Your entire life until you're 18 years old, you have this very, very strict guidelines laid out in front of you on how to be successful. And once you become a senior, those guidelines are starting to fade away. And it's like, oh my God, right? So it's like, for the first time in your life, you don't have a direct path forward after that. It's normal to feel weird about it. It's normal to stop being motivated. It's normal to freak out. Like, it's a completely normal thing that happens with the way that we've set up society. Okay, so don't make it a problem. And also, if you're really having trouble like succeeding in school, remind yourself why it's important to have a GED. And if you can't find truth for why it's important for you to have a GED, just stop going to school, right? It's another situation where we can either victimize ourselves because we think, oh, we have to do this, or we can empower ourselves and think, I want to do this because I want to have a life where I have a GED. Your choice, right? I'm not saying one's right or wrong, by the way. Neither one is right or wrong. It's just you want to make sure you like the reasons you're taking action or not taking action and avoiding classes, okay? You have to be able to no matter what you're doing in life, you have to be able to motivate yourself into taking action. And I'm not saying you have to do things you don't want. You just have to find a way to motivate yourself into whatever it is you're doing, whether it's things that you do want to be doing, going to school, going on dates, whatever, or things you don't want to be doing. Like, there's a lot of paperwork I do for my business I don't really love, but the reason I show up for it, I'm motivated for it, is because that allows me to create the life I want in addition to my business. So I'm finding ways to motivate myself, even to do things I wouldn't necessarily want to do, right? You can still create motivation for it. All right, I'm almost done. Willow, wait a minute. Hi, I'm here. How are you today? Good. Join my community. Come learn my basic information. Totes my goats. How do I ditch my vape for real? Two things. One, join my community. I have a course in there called The Foundation. It's literally going to be teaching you the foundational tools I teach all my clients, how to manage your thoughts and your emotions. And then two, after you join my community, listen to the Quit Vaping podcast. And then once you do both those things, come in the group, come into the community, start asking questions, and we'll get you. Okay? And if you absolutely need to, after all the free stuff, I have a course that's $97 that will take all of it deeper and give you a framework on how to actually apply this stuff. But go to the free stuff first. How I stop popping perks. You mean popping packs? Oh, you actually are serious. I'm sorry. I really thought you were joking because people say that all the time. Yeah, you have an emotional problem. Whenever you have a substance problem, it's an emotional problem at its core. So the reason you started popping perks is because you didn't like your life without perks. And I'm talking strictly emotionally, okay? So if you want to learn how to manage your vices, you have to learn how to manage the thoughts and the emotions that led you to the vice to begin with. get in my community. And now it's my ethical responsibility as a life coach, because Percocets are pretty physically harmful. Like, it's not like vaping where it's like, yeah, maybe it's going to kill you, maybe it's not. It's like, that's a pretty heavy drug. So what I recommend is join my community, but also if you haven't yet, go to the clinical world. Maybe you want to get therapy for that. Maybe you have some trauma you want to work out. But I can help you for free, and I will. But I think it's my ethical responsibility as a life coach who does value the line between clinical and non-clinical to recommend that you at least try therapy in addition to doing this, or try therapy first. That's all. Sassy Fluff. How do I get through political fear? Yeah, every single reason that you're suffering in the world is because of what you're believing, the story you're telling yourself. So my advice to you is, like, what are you believing about politics right now that is creating a fearful hell for you on earth? And we're gonna work through those thoughts. And what you're gonna see if you join my community, I think you already did. Thank you. If you join my community, what you're gonna see is that the root of all of your suffering and all of your blessings is your thoughts. And I believe that hell is not a fiction. It's not a fictional place. It's a real. It's not a real place. It's a fictional place. It's a metaphor for what's happening when we're believing thoughts that don't serve us. So one of my favorite spiritual teachers, her name is Byron Katie. She says, "What's the thought you're believing that's bringing you out of heaven?" So I'm gonna help you learn how to not only change your thoughts but understand them. Get intimate with your own thoughts, right? Get intimate with your own thinking. Start learning how to question, inquire your own thoughts. That's the skill set. Join my community. I'd love to have you. All right. Thanks for the follow, by the way, guys. Toast my goats, appreciate that. My daughter's 21. I'm newly married. They're at odds? How should I manage that? Your job is to show up with unconditional love. Your job is not to show up trying to help other people with their emotions. Your job is to manage your own. That's hard as a mom. Okay, I know that's hard as a mom, especially who wants to be the lover, the nurturer, the caretaker. But your job is to take responsibility for the way you want to feel and act, and make sure that you're not trying to act in a way that's manipulating, because it is manipulation, other people's emotions, right? And if rules need to be addressed for your daughter, well, she's 21, right? So you can't really give her rules unless she's living in your house. That's an adult daughter. So again, your job isn't to manage anybody else's emotions. If it was your daughter, she was like 4 or 6 years old, or 8, or somewhere under like 18, then it would be a little bit different. But because she's an adult, and if she's not living with you, it's not your responsibility to create the relationship. It's your daughter's responsibility to find her way to her own healing, and also your partner. Appreciate it. You're welcome, Castle. And if you want help with that, get in my program, because I'm going to teach you in a workshop coming up in a couple weeks. I'm going to teach you a skill set called the Manual in Emotional Adulthood. And those are going to be the skills you take into this conversation. So the community will be very valuable for you. Cheryl, it doesn't matter what episode for the Quit Vaping podcast. Just pick one that feels good to you. It's always the same basic information over and over again, just kind of framed in a different headline. Abby, hey, Abby, oh my gosh, join my community. It's open today. I was going to reach out to you. So if you've been having vivid negative dreams, I don't know what that is, but there's probably something going on in your life emotionally that when you're falling asleep, it's still kind of lingering. So is there any kind of like emotional negativity going on in your life right now? I'm just curious. If you join the community, Abby, we'll talk about it. I have a 20-minute welcome call that's a free call, and I just talk about whatever problems you're going through, what you want in the community, and I'd love to have you on that. Okay, so I'm going to go, guys. I appreciate the follows. I really do. My voice is freaking dead. I've been talking for almost an hour and a half, but thank you for coming here. Seriously, I started a community. It's open today. It's live. It's free right now. I have free courses and community stuff in there. It's going to be really meaningful. And then as it continues to grow, there will be a bunch of free workshops, free stuff. I'll have a bunch of free content in there. And then if you ever decide to work with me and do paid stuff, it's going to be really affordable. So I appreciate you guys being here. And my mission really is to bring high quality, high value life coaching tools that have changed my life to everyone and make it as affordable as possible. So if you're on that mission, you want help, what I'm saying makes sense, join the community while it's free. There's no reason not to. There's nothing you're going to get. Like there's no downside, right? And then you can also download the app for free on school, and you'll have it on your phone. You can see whenever stuff comes out. So, all right. Bye, Abby. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it.